Hello and welcome to Eyewitness Report on Channels Television. The average Nigerian has his or her own story to tell about their relationship with electricity providers. In most cases, these stories revolve around their dissatisfaction with the quality of service they get. That's the case in Surulere, Lagos State, where some residents expressed their displeasure with the Eco Electricity Distribution Company, as power supply to most parts of the area dwindles considerably. That's our focus on this edition of the program. A warm welcome. I am Yomi Otaigbi.
Besides being a residential and commercial area, Surulere is also one of the most exclusive areas on Lagos mainland that attracts people of different tribes and religion. And just as it bubbles with various activities, Surulere is plagued with poor electricity supply. So it's not surprising that people run in and out of businesses in no time. Should anyone decide to brave the storm of poor electricity supply, the generator set must work for longer hours. This does not feel convenient though, but necessary to keep business going. For Shegun, who fixes faulty generators, the situation is good for business.
Yeah, my work. They call me, I give them their service.
There's no power.
There's no power supply. So this man work.
So are you happy with your handwork?
Yeah,
Very well.
I'm happy.
A few try out other innovative means to stay afloat. In this fashion design house, a flat iron heated by a gas stove burner is a sure alternative to ironing when the electric iron is useless without electricity.
When you iron with the lights, it's easier and it's faster, and then it will cause more damage to the cloth. Unlike this one, you have to be extra careful, and then it makes it slower. And then sometimes I work inside, but because of the light and because of the weather, there's no light inside, so I have to come out. And then because the fuel is actually expensive, so you can't really use fuel when it's not necessary. So then I've just been cooking as a normal Nigerian. I just have to find a way to work and make an end to it.
Not less than 200 streets in Surulere are said to be affected by the epileptic electricity supply, accompanied by outrageous bills for unmetered customers for years. And now the residents are fed up. This peaceful protest is to express their dissatisfaction with the services provided by Eco Electricity Distribution Company, Eco Disco.
It's too much. They will bring bills. They won't give us light. They will bring bills. They won't give us light. They will bring bills. They won't give us light. It's annoying.
Eco Electric is one of the discos that will tell you that you have light for 8 hours. We increase your tariff to 32 naira, and you in turn have light for less than 4 hours every day. Meanwhile, your tariff is already reading at 32 naira. So who bear the brunt? The tariff they are giving us is not reflective. It is not. Estimated billing is still ongoing in Eco Electric massively. Because if not, if we all have prepaid meters, we would not come out to talk to channels. We will be in our houses. Their staffs will be running from pillar to pole to ensure that they drive in revenue. Because when there is no light, they don't get paid. But in this case, whether there is light or not, they get paid. So they are laid back. They've been talking about rolling out prepaid meters. So, okay, I paid for a particular prepaid meter to be installed for a neighbor. It has since 1st of September 2020. I paid for it. It has not been installed up till today.
If we're paying, let's see what we're paying for. It is horrible for you to go and then today you find out people are just living on fuel every day. The fuel price itself has gone so high. People can afford it. Now, the NEPA that we would have thought was supposed to be there for us, they've turned their back against us. And every now and then you go to their office, there isn't even anybody there to attend to you. It's that bad. How long are we going to continue this way? For how long? Surulere, how long? Please, Surulere, how long are we going to continue like this?
A day to cut light, they'll bring light. After cutting, they take light. They need money every day. And we are continuing to buy diesel, both mechanic village. Almost every day we are buying diesel. For a handwork man to survive, you must get 2 or 3 generators. Generators supposed to support light, but in Surulere, our light is support generator. And in a month, we are not using light for 40 hours in a month. We are not using light. Maybe you use 1 hour. If you make complaint, they will tell you, say, at least you have light yesterday. Light where you use for maybe 30 minutes. They will tell you, say, you use it for a day. It is 30 minutes a day. How many hours in a day, people will please? 24 hours. And you are telling us, say, we use something for 30 minutes. You see, you are telling us, say, we use it in a day. We are tired of it. We are tired of it. Either they remove their wire or they give us prepaid. We know we are not paying again until this light connect.
We need light. 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 We need light.
At the time of recording, there was power outage. Residents claim they've been out of supply for 4 days due to a downpour, a situation that has become their lot, with terrible impact on health as well.
Most of the healthcare spaces in the community, take for instance Randall Hospital, they have to run on generator. They have to, and this would at the long run affect the cost they are trying to cut on the medications that they give to patient clients that come into the hospital. You see so many children coming with heat rashes on their body. You start to think about skin conditions because of the effect of the no light in the community. Stressed from work, you come back to rest so you can resume back a good shift so you can provide good care for your patients. But you get back, you come home, there is no light, you don't get to rest, you go back to work cranky, and it starts to tell on the level of care or the quality of care you provide to your patients. And at the long run, you look at this, some people say, oh, there's no, it just ends. No, it goes a long way. We have issues of heat stroke, that would arise from such situations at the end of the day. So I am soliciting and pleading to as a solicitor for the people, as a nurse, you have to speak for your people in your community. I'm speaking for these people in my community. We really need intervention when it comes to power supply. It has been terrible. Some will say, oh, they probably have not paid their bills. These people, to a large extent, pay their bills because nobody really wants to stay in the dark.
I have an aged mother. Every day, she cannot stand it. All my money is going on fuel. We have 3 caliber people of this country in Surulere constituency, and we are suffering. We have Gajabi Amila is number 4. We have Sanwo-Olu, Surulere child. We have Desmond Elliott. Desmond Elliott's parents stay on my street, and we are suffering. It's not good. It's not done. I can't be working every day to buy fuel. Even if I want to buy the recharge card, I'm going there to queue on my money. They give me number 60 now. I'll leave home 8:30 and get back 2 o'clock. This is not fair. We voted them in. They should help us. We all can't be at the top. We voted them there so that they can help us.
At the center of the electricity challenge in the area is a 33 kVA Luth injection substation which services 3 major feeders, Oko, Ogunlano and Ishaga, 11 kVAs.
Recently, when they started the tariff upgrade, we really don't know how they come about moving these 3 feeders, Oko, Ogunlano, Ishaga, to band D. And band D means we should have minimum 8-hour supply every day. Why some people across the road, take for example on Akerele Road, you have James Robinson, it's just off Akerele there. You go there, they do 20 hours, 18 hours of light every day. Now, we had engagement with EDC people over time on what is the solution. They come up to tell you there is a breaker problem at Luth, there is a wire problem at Luth, and we ask ourselves, is it the responsibility of the customers to fix this problem or the problem of the Eco Electric to fix it? The feeder that runs through Oko, it runs into Mushi. Mushi is under Ikeja Electric. Now, most of the time, Eco will tell us we have done our part. We are waiting for Mushi. Mushi has not finished their part. We will be in perpetual darkness. Like the problem we have at hand now, they told us that they have solved their own problem, that's Eco Electric, but they are waiting for Mushi. Now, from the discussion I had recently, they told us that the bigger problem with Luth is from Sele injection station. That there's a substation in Sele that has a fault. That if that can be fixed, that is the one that will feed Luth. So, on the immediate, we pray and hope that help will come.
We have people in Surulere. Yeah, they kept quiet and we keep suffering. We keep paying for bills, we don't use.
For over a decade, community connected to Luth 33 kVA are powered by leftovers from Mushin district, and they're even more worried that the fate of a proposed substation at the Mechanic Village on Randall Avenue hangs in the balance.
Now, I recall about 8-9 years ago when this problem became very critical. They started an injection station at somewhere close to stadium, telling us with that they would resolve the problem. Go there now, it is abandoned. Nothing is happening there. 3 years ago, they came to off Randu close here. They chased the mechanic on that land, took sizable amount of land to build another sub-injection station. The one at stadium was abandoned. Nothing has been done. Now they've taken this land. 3 years, you have their signboard there, Surulere injection station. The place is locked up. Nothing is going on there. So we are at an helpless stage. There's no help is not coming from anywhere. So we believe that and we hope that those in higher authority would be able to hear our voices now.
Bring their lights out to come and disconnect. No light. No light. No light.
Welcome back. The values of integrity and understanding of relevant authorities were put to test by the agitations. The second part of the report highlights responses from the political leadership in Surulere and the management of Eco Electricity Distribution Company to the plight of the residents.
The member representing Surulere 1 constituency in the Lagos State House of Assembly, Desmond Elliott, upholds the residents' claims and concerns, but adds that the Randall substation is on course.
The problem of electricity supply and power supply in Surulere, Lagos State, really have been one that has been very concerning. But for Surulere in particular, prior to this period, we've had terrible supply of electricity all around Surulere. It began to become a bit better, you know, in some parts. in some parts. But largely we've had major issues in a lot of areas. And it's owing to so many factors. One of the major factors is the load on the transformer is way too much. Everything a common man wants is power supply. We don't know how you get it, how you don't get it, and all that. But ECO really have tried to explain, to say, listen, these are things we inherited. The cables are weak, they are outdated, they need to be changed and all that. But you see, we've come to the point where Surulere is due, more than due for the upgrade. So the yearnings for some assistance is very important. Instead of us having and pointing accusing fingers at each other, not just dialogue now, we need TCN to really come on board and make sure. But that being said, I was very instrumental into the location of the injector power substation, which is at Randu right now. We tried to make sure we secure the land for ECO Disco, and ECO, they've started in partnership with the federal government. Thanks to Honorable Baja as well, who made sure that this symbiotic relationship exists. So we cannot wait for our injector substation to come into existence so that it will curb a lot of these problems. This project was a last year project, because I know the speaker, Honorable Femi, and I, when we spoke, had already connected with government into making sure that happened. But because of COVID, there were a lot of ups and downs. What I'm gathering is that by the end of this year, we should be home and dry. I can't wait for it. I am excited about it, and we will not rest on our hours. We'll keep making sure and pushing into making sure that power supply. I'm also affected.
The Assistant General Manager of Corporate Communications at ECO Electricity Distribution Company, Babatunde Lasaki, acknowledges the abyssal output of the Luth substation, adding that work is on to improve their operations in the area.
We know that over 1 year now, the solar Idaraba has been out, and it's part of the TCN project that was supposed to be executed under our network this year. So naturally, when you have two sources supplying 3 feeders, and one of them has been out, so invariably what it means is that we have one feeder, one source supplying area where we're supposed to even have about 3 sources. Naturally, you'll expect that that source will be stretched. So what we have presently in that area is that we have an area that is being fed by an overstretched substation. Well, like I said, breaker issue is part of the whole gamut of the infrastructure development that we are looking at axis. It's not something you just, even if you keep changing breakers and you don't change the whole gamut of the feeders, upgrading of the feeder to the level that it can carry, it continues to break. It's just like when you have a generator that has capacity of 5 kVA and the load you are putting on it is 6 kVA. It will continue to go off. That is the situation we have in that axis now. Like I said, that area is overstretched. We have a situation whereby they're supposed to have about 3 sources feeding them, but presently we have just one source feeding them. So, and everybody is actually keying into that source. So naturally, it's stretched, not just stretched, overstretched, and if it continue to trip, because if it doesn't trip, what it means that it's going to actually affect appliances. So anytime the load actually gets on that feeder and it's become overburdened.
Mr. Lasaki also addresses other concerns, including band classification of customers as well as metering and billing system.
Band classification is based on the capacity of the feeders feeding your area. If you have a feeder that is very strong and it has the capacity to feed you for maybe 15, 16 hours of supply, you can naturally be placed under band B. But if you have a feeder that is feeding your area with the capacity of just about 6 to 10 hours, so the best you can get is to be on band D, because based on the NEC requirements, whatever you promise, you should be able to supply. If I'm charging you for band A, I should be able to provide you minimum hours of 20 hours of supply. If I'm charging you for band I should be able to provide you minimum hours of 16 hours. So that area, we know they have a challenge substation, challenge feeders. So the best they can get is actually band D, because the capacity of the feeder cannot provide more power than what they are presently getting. But one good thing about it is that the 60 MVA that was out over a year, it's one of the projects that TCN is going to execute this year. Hopefully, we know that by the time that one is executed, it's going to ease the pressure on the Akongba Ediarabao, and then we can have improved power supply in that area. Even though that is actually a stopgap, because that area needs much more than that two sources. But what ECO is doing right now is that, as part of our own infrastructure development plan, part of our PIP, performance improvement plan that we've put in place, is that we are planning to build 2 substations within that axis. That is the 50 MVA Randu. That is in the pipeline. And with the recently released fund from CBN, I think it's one of the priority key projects we are looking at doing this year, starting this year. And hopefully by the time everything is in place with the TCN, so we can begin to start seeing improvement in power supply in that area, and then we can see less agitation from our customers. Most of our transformers in all our network areas, we have what we call statistical meters on those transformers. And what actually, anytime we want to issue bills, it is based on the reading on those statistical meters. So if you have power for 15 days out of 30 days, we are going to be billed for 15 days, not for 30 days. So if you have power for 20 days, you are going to be billed for 20 days, not for 30 days. So that is one. And then for prepaid meter, just last year, around September, government actually launched what we call National Mass Metering Program. On this program, in this scheme, customers are not even expected to pay. It's a free meter. But because of, a lot of people, we have about 55% of electricity consumers who are still in need of meters. And then, so what government is doing is that across all the discos in all the states, they're actually rolling out this meter in large numbers. We started last year, September, and I can tell you that this year we've actually ramped up numbers of people we are metering. In Surulere, when we launched our own NMMP program last year, we actually started in Surulere, and on the first day we started, we actually gave over 200 meters to our customers. And this year alone, I know we've been to Surulere, we've been to Ibeju, we've been to Lekki, we've been to Ojo, we've been to so many of our districts. We are giving out meters. We want to do it that every point in time we are working and giving meters to all our customers across all the districts. We don't want to concentrate on one district and leave others. That is why this meter is not getting to people as expected, because as we get it, we want to roll it out. Maybe today we get 1,000. We want to roll those 1,000 across all the 10 districts. So it's coming like that gradually. And I hope that before the end of this year, the number of people on prepaid meter would have moved significantly from the number we presently have now. So what I would just encourage our customers to do is that they should apply, because some of them think that they should just bring meters to us. If you don't apply online and submit your form, you won't be captured for the meter installation. So, but when you apply, your form will be captured, and then they can actually queue you for the installation and the placement of the meters in your residence.
By these promises, the Eco Electricity Distribution Company has its integrity at stake. Until they are fulfilled, these aggrieved customers in Surulere only have the choice of remaining patient while praying for the rains not to disrupt the little electricity supply at their disposal.
They will bring bills. They won't give us light. They will bring bills. They won't give us light.
Eyewitness offers you the platform to tell your story, especially as it affects your environment. With your phone as a tool, you could be that agent of change and attract development to your community. Simply take the pictures and upload them to our Eyewitness portal via the Channels TV app, which you can download from the various app stores online. Let's take a look at some of the pictures you sent in for the week.
We begin this segment of the program with this video of Eyewitness Reporter captures a gridlock of trailers and other heavy duty in Apapa, in queue to access the Apapa port. The reporter, who is also a resident of the area, says he is frustrated by the menace caused by the trailers, whose activities have led to the blockade of all access roads for smaller vehicles going into Apapa. While commending the Lagos State government for its efforts towards controlling these trailers, the reporter is appealing to the state government to intensify efforts in finding a permanent solution to the problem. A tractor is seen in the next video, also from Lagos, showing ongoing road rehabilitation at Iyana-Ejigbo. The Eyewitness Reporter says driving through has been a nightmare for motorists and residents for years. He commends the state government for keeping to its promise of fixing the road. Still from Lagos are pictures of members of the Lagos State Task Force on cleanup operations of commercial motorcycle operators, also called Okada riders, on the highways and other restricted areas in Oyigbo, Yaba, and along the Lekki-Ekpe Expressway. Our Eyewitness Reporter says over 80 motorcycles were confiscated.
Thank you for sharing those images with us. That's the show for this week. Thanks for watching. I am Jomi Otaigbe.